dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So my belief is that no matter how smart we think we are, no matter how integrated we can make the human being in the computer, there is something that we won't see that will catch us by surprise, and it will break. You know, all of this chips implanted in brains and stuff, I think it's cool. It won't work. I mean, come on, we can't even figure out the cell phone. You know, it's pretty imperfect technology. My Bluetooth thing doesn't really work, so I don't really bother with it. Calls get dropped, and I got Verizon, it's better than the others, and I still lose calls. Sometimes the calls aren't clear, sometimes I can't hear them. The handsets are kind of disposable. Like, it's kind of junk technology. It's pretty good, not great, right? Like, we don't build things to last anymore. So, yeah, I think it's nice in theory. Yeah, it's good. They'll do some stuff, but it'll break.
So it's pretty easy, I guess, to identify if your team or organization is safe once you're there.
Yeah.
But when you're looking for a new team or looking for, changing
Yeah.
jobs to another org, how do you identify if that place is a safe place?
So the question was, it's pretty easy to identify if your team is safe when you're in it. But if you need to change teams, how do you identify if it's safe? Great question. It's called dating. It's called making friends. It doesn't happen immediately, and you can't tell. You go on a first date, and it feels kind of good. And so you go on a second date, and it feels kind of good. And after like 3 weeks, you're like, this is ridiculous. You know? In other words, we make the decision to join teams, or we make hiring decisions too quickly sometimes. They met everybody on the team. We like them. Okay. Now it didn't work out. It is our responsibility to assess the team we want to join based on their values and based on their beliefs. It's the concepts of why and the other things that I've written about. And there's some ways to figure that out. You know, for example, you have to know your own before you can assess others, obviously. But here's a great example. Someone will approach me and say, we want you to invest in our company, our little startup. I go, great. What's your exit strategy? They go, with a 5-year exit strategy. I'm not interested. Because I'm not interested in things for short term. So there's little questions that I can ask. You know, who's in charge? Me. Who's your partner? I don't have one. I believe in mom and dad. I believe in CEO and COO. I believe in visionary and operator, working in concert to make it happen. When one person thinks they can do it all, not so much. So these are little things where I've learned over time to test my beliefs. But you have to take time. You have to get to know them. I'm a great believer in dating and getting to know somebody. And sometimes it's in the job. You never expect that you'll feel like you belong in the first week. It won't ever happen. 6 months minimum, sometimes longer. You know, like how long does it take to fall in love? Certainly not a week, we know that. But if you've been there for 7 years and you're not in love, it's time to move. Human relationships are human relationships, whether it's dating, whether it's work, whether it's sports, human relationships are human relationships. We're always looking for trust, we're always looking to feel safe. I guarantee you that almost every single person in this room is sitting next to somebody you chose to sit next to. Why is that? Why didn't you split up and sit somewhere else? And this is why we keep the empty seats blank. I know you guys don't know each other. Because it's like we go to the movies. We sit next to our friends and we leave an empty space, right? Because we feel we're driven by safety. We feel safe next to someone we know, and we feel uneasy next to somebody we don't know. Nothing personal. It's just the way we are. Same thing. So it takes time. It takes time. And I have no app for that. I got nothing that can speed up the human relationship. I do find it ironic, however. Considering I'm speaking out of turn, I might as well just go with the flow. I do find it ironic that companies like Google and Facebook and sort of all these social media companies invest huge sums of time and energy and money to figure out ways to organize their corporate culture so that people will cooperate better, and they have common eating so that people they can sit on benches together and common spaces to work together, all so that they can be much better at working together to produce a product that keeps us apart from each other. I just love the irony of that. You know, that they know what gets the best out of people is cooperation, so they can produce a product that leaves us not cooperating. I just love that. Yes.
If you find yourself in a place that you consider unsafe, is your best strategy exit?
No. The question was, if you consider yourself in a place that you feel unsafe, is the best strategy exit? Absolutely not. The best strategy is to step up. The best strategy is to be the leader you wish you had. The best strategy is to find someone you trust and say, we have each other, let's look after each other, but let's also commit to looking after everybody else. There's some good research on this as well. There was an article in HBR some time ago about how to deal with a toxic leader. And if you have a toxic leader, you can see this in dictatorships. Same idea, it's the same thing, right? So what dictators do is they seed paranoia and create separation amongst the people. Because dictators know that if the people come together, they're out. Dictators always fear the people. And that's because, anthropologically, it's not the leader that has the power, it's the group that has the power. We're social animals. Leaders have power over us as individuals, but as a group, we control the leader. And so in toxic environments where you don't feel safe, very often what happens is an environment of fear and paranoia is created such that the people no longer help each other. They're too busy worrying about themselves. Maybe you have one friend who watches your back, but it's not enough. And so they maintain their control. And so what you want to do is break down these barriers and say, hey guys, all we have is each other. If we're going to be happy at work and we're going to survive this and we're going to do good things, we have to look after each other. And what the research shows is two things happen. One, this person becomes completely emasculated. They lose their power. And usually higher ups then start to notice. Because they are very good at managing up and pretty bad at managing down. You're welcome. Yes, in the back. Last question. Oh, wait, no, we'll go longer.
So how do you know, a leader, toxic, he or she may be, many times they project themselves on the situation,
Yes.
real psychosis, in such a way that you don't realize.
Great question. The question was, how can you tell if someone's toxic? Because sometimes they say the right things, and they present themselves as these wonderful leaders. Again, time. And this is the importance of consistency, right? There's a difference between consistency and intensity. And consistency always wins, right? You cannot be healthy by doing a cleanse once a month. I'm going to cleanse. No, it doesn't work, right? You know what keeps you healthy? Being healthy every day. Going to the gym and working out for 10 hours doesn't make you healthy. Doing a little bit every day makes you healthy, right? So consistency is always king over intensity, which is why reorgs don't work, because it's an intense... Touch a nerve, did I? Reorgs, we end up fearing the reorg. And they end up doing all these PowerPoints and bringing in all these outsiders to tell us how much better it's going to be. And we all go, okay. And they end up spending all of their time trying to convince us that it's good. It doesn't work. Because then we end up, it's like moving a bulldozer towards a brick wall because we need to move the brick wall from here to there. The bulldozer is the reorg. We're the brick wall. Yeah, I know we need to move over there, and I'm sure this might work, but I just see a bulldozer coming, not feeling very cooperative. However, if somebody says, look, slowly is how we're going to do it, and we don't expect everybody to make the change, but we're going to take a couple people who want to volunteer. It might not work out. If you want to volunteer and be an early adopter, we're going to try. And we take 1 brick. And then we take 2 bricks. And then we take 4 bricks. And we have a small wall and a few people who are kind of naysayers who go, oh, I guess it will work. We'll try too. And before you know it, you move the whole wall and you can't move back again because it's now the new norm. That's how change is supposed to happen. I don't believe in revolution, which is what reorgs are. They're sudden. They're usually a lot of upheaval. I believe in evolution, of which the results can be revolutionary. So, yeah. What was the question? Oh! When they say and do the right thing. Okay. I like my little aside, though. It goes back to the original thing. Consistency. That's right. I remember what I was going to say. Consistency, right? Which is, you cannot tell if someone's a good leader by something they said once, or did once, or twice, or 3 times. Now you can kind of tell. A couple failings are okay. We don't mind that. We're patient. We're good. We know no one's perfect. As opposed to junk, a couple good things, junk, a couple good things. Consistency is what will make our decisions. And we're very, very attuned social animals. We're highly, highly, highly sophisticated social animals. And you kind of go, yeah, I guess he said all the right things. Like if you have that kind of sense, the odds are they're probably just saying the things you want to hear. And I agree. A lot of leaders say the right things, but the question is, will they do the right things? And the only way to truly test if they'll do the right things is when their ass is on the line, when their bonus is on the line, when their reputation is on the line, when their life is on the line. Will they save themselves or will they save us? That's the best test of all.